If you want to make a positive shift in your health, fitness, nutrition, and wellness, start with the tools to redefine your mind. At LaJune Singleton, we help you create the mental space needed for change. Next, we provide in-person and virtual personal training, health, mindset, nutrition, and wellness coaching services. Importantly, we offer accountability and support. Book your consultation today online at lajunesingleton.com.
Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the next episode of Dear Mama. I am Tamika Chapman, the founder of energizeHER, and I am excited to be sharing this series with you all. So, first of all, before we get started, I want to ask you a favor. If you can share this broadcast with those you know, like, love, and trust, that would be one thing that I would ask you to do as we get ready to share conversations with two amazing experts that are joining us tonight to talk about self-care for the woman, okay? As well as scheduling. How many times are we looking for extra hours in the day? Tonight's conversation is going to help you learn how to create a self-care strategy for yourself. What does that look like? What does it feel like? What should it feel like? Okay. And then, getting that productivity, getting that time management under control. We're looking for time. Time is not going to be extended, so we have to make do with the time that we have. So thank you all for tuning in tonight. I am not going to keep us any longer. I'm going to bring up my special guests, my special experts, Dr. LaToya Wiggins, as well as Wilda Jean, as we begin our conversation. Let's go. Let's go. All right, we have Dr. LaToya Wiggins. We have Wilda Jean. Hello, ladies. How are you?
Good, good. So happy to be here.
Absolutely. I'm excited that you all are here. Thank you so much for your yes. Thank you so much for being available to share your expertise because women across the globe need it. So, again, you all go ahead on and share this broadcast right now, like giving you 30 seconds to do so. Let other women in your life know that we are live and we're talking directly to you. We're bringing this series together. We put it together to bring it to you to help you learn to love the life you live right now. We're not waiting another week. We're not waiting another month. And we're definitely not going to wait until January 1st, 2024. We're going to start this right now. So before we kick off, please, Dr. LaToya Wiggins, please briefly introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about who you are.
Yeah, so hey mamas, my name is Dr. LaToya Wiggins, and I am a self-care strategist for Christian moms. I transition these moms from worn out to winning, teaching them biblical principles and self-care strategies so they can be nourished, renewed, and rejuvenated and just prioritize their peace over self-pity. I like to do self-care coaching for moms. I have a podcast which talk about more coaching, and yes, I'm all about health and wellness for moms.
Amazing, amazing. All right, Miss Wilda Jean, let us know who you are, lady.
Hello, hello, everyone. Good evening. Dear Mama, if I'm talking to you, my name is Wilda Jean, and I help high achieving moms establish business and life mastery through incorporating systems in their personal life and in their business. So I'm super excited. Systems have changed my life, and I definitely understand the importance that it plays in whether you're a mother, you have a 9 to 5, or you're a business owner. Either way, it's definitely needed. So I look forward to the conversation today.
Well, awesome, awesome. Well, let me just share a little bit more with the ladies, with the people who tuning in. This episode is for Tamika. Okay, I'm trying to learn more self-care, more time management. Again, how many times have you caught yourself saying, "Oh my gosh, I just need an extra hour. Oh my gosh, I just need another day in the weekend. If it could just be extended a little bit longer." That's what it's all about. It's all about how do we find the resources, introducing you to resources, and these experts. You are all the resources. Because, like I said last week, I could talk about a lot of things. I can Google a lot of things. I can read from word, script. But when it comes to being an expert in this and really helping women learn how to implement those different strategies, I wanted to bring the experts here to talk about what self-care is. So let's start there, Dr. LaToya. Tell us self-care. What is self-care?
Yeah, so everyone has their different definitions of self care, but for me, self care is all about nourishing yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. It's not just the bubble baths, getting your hair done and your nails done. Those things, they make you feel good, but what are you doing to nurse yourself daily? Because I don't think you're getting your hair and nails done daily. I mean, you might do your hair daily, but not your nails done. You're not getting a massage probably every day. So, what are you doing each and every day or consistently on a regular basis that is pouring into yourself so that you're not going from day to day feeling stressed, especially if you are a busy mom, or even if you're an older mom with older children, you're still worried about them. My mother still calls me at 38, checking on me and worrying about me. So, what are you doing to pour back into yourself instead of just pouring into everyone else?
I love that. Look out for yourself too. It's okay to look out for you. So as we are, thinking about how do we look out for ourselves, and I love that you hit on, taking care of you. What are those things that you should be doing? What are some things that you can do? What are some different types of self-care that we can easily implement? Because again, this is about things that women can do starting tonight. So what are some what's a few things that we can do like starting now when it comes to self-care?
So I would say it really depends on the individual. So self care is going to look different for each and every one of us. So I always say just think about what's the smallest thing that you can begin doing tonight, even if it's as little as 5 minutes.
Right.
A lot of people tend to think, your self-care time, whatever that is, whether it's your quiet time, time to journal, maybe it is the hot bubble bath, a massage, reading, whatever, nourishes you, brings you some peace and joy, some happiness, helps you to de-stress. What's something that you can do in as little as 5 minutes? Because 5 minutes, it may not sound like a lot, but it's better than nothing. So if all you have is 5 minutes, if you have more, beautiful. But what can you begin tonight? Before you lay your head down to go to sleep, what's just something that you can do? What's something that you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
That's the key thing. What's something that because for me, as long as I'm get me some quiet time after my kids go to bed, I can lie or sit in dead silence. That's self-care to me.
Right.
Or
Right.
maybe catching up on a show, not trying to Netflix binge late at night because then I'll end up being tired, but maybe just catching a show before I go to sleep. That's my self-care
Mhm.
time. Spending time with my husband before I go to sleep. Those are some things that's self-care for me. So what something that you would like to do before you lay your head down? Or maybe it is that you just need to lay down because sometimes we're not getting enough sleep. So maybe instead of trying to be busy doing something, maybe you just need to go ahead and go to bed a half an hour earlier, an hour earlier. So think about that. Just
I
what is
love that.
it? What
Yeah,
is
I
it?
love that. I love that motto. Go ahead and go to bed. Okay.
Right.
Go ahead and go to bed. So thank you all. Thank you everyone who's tuning in. Thank you so much. Again, we're going to ask that you share this broadcast out with so that other ladies can tune in and hear what it is that we are talking about tonight. I have self-care strategist for Christian moms, Dr. LaToya Wiggins, as well as scheduling expert Wilda Jean, who's joining us tonight as we are continuing our conversation on Dear Mama. So, Wilda Jean, we just heard Dr. LaToya talk about, even if it's only 5 minutes, okay, even if it's only 5 minutes, implement that thing. And I know that there are a lot of women who are struggling right now to find like, where can I find this extra 5 minutes? Where can I find 15, 20 minutes? Like, where can I find this? What are some things that women can do right now to start prioritizing their time so that they can begin to create this schedule in their lives?
That's a really good question. And what I will say is that I agree with everything that Dr. LaToya said because self care is important. Like for me, self care sometimes is sneaking off to go buy some French fries because I can eat it by myself and I usually feel guilty afterwards. But I sit in my car and I eat my little French fries, and that's self care to me because, like, of course, I make sure my kids are, fed and all of that. But sometimes I just want to eat what I want to eat without having to share it, right? That's self-care
Right.
for me. And that's okay. But I would say definitely making sure that you are auditing your time is going to be very important, because a lot of times, honestly, we'll spend time scrolling on Instagram, scrolling on Facebook or TikTok, whatever it may be. So now you've really spent an hour scrolling mindlessly on these sites, which is what it's intended to do. And then now you have to go cook dinner, or you have to tend to the kids, or you have to do whatever it may be. And so now you feel like you don't have time. And the reality of it is we don't maximize the time, the downtime that we have, to ensure that we're using it to our full potential. And that doesn't mean that you have to always be on go 24/7. You just
Right.
have to be more conscious of where your time is really going. And so I would definitely say that this is something that comes with time and experience, because I've been a mom for about 5 years now. When I first became a mother, I didn't care about scheduling. I thought I could just get up and go and just do whatever, however, and just go with the flow. And the reality of it is, being a mom, whether you have a 9 to 5 or you're a business owner or both, you're not going to be able to survive and function and thrive on a healthy mental space if you do not maximize your time. Like, it's just not going to work. So you have to make sure that, like, I had to put my kids on a bedtime routine. My kids used to go to sleep at like 10, 11 o'clock. And so I can't get any work done. I'm crying. I'm like, want to pull my hair out. I'm frustrated at them. And then I had to realize I didn't prioritize specific time to spend with them. So I can't even get mad that they're like all over me when I'm trying to get the work done, when I didn't designate specific time to just spend one-on-one with them. And then having them stay up till really late, like, I can't get no work done. So hey, 9 o'clock, that's the cutoff time. And it usually takes my kids like an hour to get to sleep. But at least I know by 10 o'clock, the house is quiet. And if I want to go make some salmon for myself, if I want to work on something, if I want to read a book, worship, whatever that looks like for me, I can do that. But that was only possible when I started to really understand what time I have in the day and where I can fit in different things for myself, for my business, for my family, whatever that may be.
Awesome. I love that. I love that. You have to do an audit of your time, an audit of your time. And for those of us who have young kids, okay, who kids stay up late, okay, who are not interested in a bedtime, okay. I know it's important. It's important that I make sure that they get rest so that I can get rest. And a lot of times I've heard so many women say, "Listen, y'all on your own. I'm going to take this time for myself." But at the end of the day, even if you say you on your own and I'm taking this time for myself, in the back of your mind, you're still thinking like, okay, what are they doing? Okay, oh my gosh, are they sitting down? Oh my gosh, are they laying down? Oh my gosh, are they getting into something? Are they hurting themselves? So I think that, as you said, create that schedule that allows you to, one, spend time with them, and let them understand that they are important, but also that's creating a schedule that allows you to now pay more attention to yourself. So, Dr. LaToya, for those of us, okay, and I say us very tightly, not loosely, very tightly, okay, but for those of us who may be sometimes feeling a bit spiritually disconnected, because that's something that Wilda just hit on as well. What advice can you offer, can you give, women and moms on how to reconnect with their faith and incorporating it into their self-care practices, the daily self-care practices?
Yes, I would say pretty much what Wilda was saying. Like, you gotta you gotta schedule it. You really have to schedule it, and it's been hard for me. Like, time management is not my thing, but it has been a part of me thriving in self-care and being mentally well, continually growing. It's something I'm consistently growing in. See, I got my planner right here. It's funny, right before I logged on with you, I actually taped my schedule to my desk because I need it right front and center. So it's pretty much just scheduling everything for me anyway. Like,
Yeah.
so and being intentional about that time and having some flexibility because I do
Hmm.
have young kids. So for me, ideally, keyword ideal, um, waking up in the morning, um, to have my time with God is more ideal for me. It doesn't always happen. So I have like had my backup plan. So kind of like what she was saying, like being in the car, that's my self-care time. So a lot of times I will drop my kids off in the morning, and before I go back in, to my little one, I will sit in the car and spend that time in prayer or to catch up on my study. Not my study, my Bible study, or listen to some
Mhm.
worship music. So you can listen to worship music while you're driving.
Right.
The Bible study that I do is actually on YouTube with a group of ladies called Faith Sisters. And a lot of times I'm driving and listening to my Bible study, and then I'll sit in the car, to kind of just reflect on it before I go in and then get with my busy 2-year-old or whatever. Because I'm like, he's okay, he's with my husband, or sometimes my mother-in-law is here. So I'm just being intentional about that time. Like if I don't do it before I take them to school, I have these backup plans. Sometimes I'm sitting in the carpool line, and same thing. That's my worship time. So I have my backup plans. I try not to do it at night because usually at nighttime, that's when you're exhausted and I'm falling asleep while praying. So I'm just having my
Right.
backup plans. It's either morning or in my car, do my car therapy. And that's pretty much, so I just tell mom, you had to get creative. That's pretty much what I'm trying
Right.
to do, get creative. So even when I had my he's down too, but when I had my baby, and I've heard a lot of moms say this, it's like, oh, I haven't been spending enough time with God. I will multitask. Like, number one, God knows that you are a mom. He bless you with those kids. So he knows that you're not going to always be able to spend a whole hour or a whole day with him in your war room. So a lot of times I'll be breastfeeding. While I'm breastfeeding, I will have my Bible study, on a devotional on my phone and reading it. Again,
Right.
like while I'm doing different tasks, I could be cleaning, I could be cooking. I'll have either my my earbuds in, or just, where everybody can hear it, which is actually good because then they kind of hear that too, listen to sermons or my prayer, not prayers, my Bible studies and devotionals. So, or incorporating your family into it. So with my oldest son, my 13-year-old and my 6-year-old, on Sundays, I'm not perfect yet, but my intention every Sunday I'm trying to do Bible studies with them. So now I'm teaching them while I'm learning too. Or I may already know this, but hey, it could be a reminder, or with my 13-year-old, I wanted to go more in depth. So, we're having that conversation, what did you get from it? Or, hey, I
Mhm.
gotta read this scripture too, or that chapter, because I haven't read it in a while, to even make sure that he's understanding. So just get creative. And that's the last thing I would say is remember that self-care is not just all about being alone. It's just about
Right.
nourishing yourself. So even that soul care piece, it doesn't just have to be your quiet time with God. If you got to incorporate your kids in it, that's fine. Sometimes I would like to journal and reflect, and my child will wake up early. And sometimes I'll get frustrated, like, oh, that ruined my quiet time. And then I noticed while I was journaling, my son was coloring. So like, okay, again, I'm getting creative. If I'm still having my prayer time, or sometimes I have to wake up, okay, hold them, hug them, rub them and everything, and I'm still praying in my head. Or you can
Right.
pray out loud because they need to hear that anyway. So while you're nourishing yourself, you're nourishing your kids too. So my main thing is just get creative. There's no right or wrong thing when it comes
I
to
love
that.
that.
And God sees that he sees your effort. Not even effort. He
Right.
sees you doing it.
I love that because that's definitely something that I've noticed about my own. Evening, Gerard. We will excuse you this time. But that's definitely something that I have noticed with my own actions and how my children do things, or they will mimic the things that I'm doing in their own way. Like my son loves to work. Okay. And I'm not going to say I hate it because, again, it is him following the example that my husband and I are putting in front of him of get up, get yourself together, and get your stuff done. So unfortunately, they want to put schoolwork at 11 o'clock at night. No, no, and no. So they want to work all day, whatever work is. And then at the end of the day, now, okay, now I have time for schoolwork. But I love how, you're saying you get creative. It allows your children to be creative, but also speak it out loud because you are not only pouring it into yourselves, but you're pouring it into your children as well. And they need that. That's creating a great solid foundation for them as they get older as well. So thank you for sharing that. So what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to ask one last question. Listen, this one right here. Um, this is for all of the busy women in the world, all the busy women who have this great schedule. You know, they've gone through this cycle with you, Wilda. They've created this schedule that works for them in their lives, and everything is going fine. Everything is going smoothly, okay? And then you got some hiccups that happen. So you got a sick child. You got some last minute work demands. You got the car done broke down and I can't get to where I need to go. Or I my ankle. I have to go to the emergency room before I can keep going in my daily schedule. What are some things that women can do to help prepare for hiccups and not feel overwhelmed when it happens?
Whew, that is intense. I will say first, dear mama, breathe, breathe, pray. Breathe and pray. And that sounds like probably cliche or like, unserious, but it's a real thing because sometimes things are going to be out of our control. And so there's no one size fits all answer for that question, because the reality of it is everybody's life and everybody's situation looks different. Some people have more help than others, some have less help than others. And so I would definitely say that you just have to really be a solutionist. Being a mom requires you to be a solutionist because you have to be quick on your toes to pivot. And I believe that if you can do so, it will help you a lot in the long run. And I believe that a lot of times and something I still deal with now, I battle with it now, like I overthink something that can be a quick fix. Like, okay, well, the car broke down. Can I take an Uber? Is there somebody that I can call? Like, you don't always have to panic every time something happens. And one thing I had to learn about having a schedule, having a routine, is that give yourself grace. And that's why I say breathe and pray, because the reality of it is your life can change in a week. Your life can look different. Your schedule can look different in a week, in a month, in a year. And I used to avoid my schedule because I felt like my life doesn't look like this schedule anymore. So now I feel like I'm not getting things done, or I'm not like structured. And the reality of it is I can easily just go in and adjust it for where I am now. And that's okay. Give yourself grace. My kids have recently, one of them has transitioned to kindergarten. And so the time looks completely different from when I had both of them at one school. And so the pickup time was one set time. Now I have one getting out at 1:50 and one getting out at 3:30. And so it looks different. Another pivot for me that I had to find a solution for, as a business owner, no one ever wants to go back to a 9 to 5, right?
Right.
The reality of it is,
right.
And so, when being a full-time entrepreneur worked for me, it worked for me. And when I realized that it wasn't giving me what I needed in this season, I had to be okay with getting uncomfortable with going back to position my family and my business where I needed to be. And then I can come back to entrepreneurship full time. And so it's a pivot. Of course, I'd rather make my own hours or, things of that nature, what comes with being an entrepreneur. But at the same time, there's certain things that a 9 to 5 right now is going to provide for me. So guess what? My schedule has to change again because, I'm going to have that big block of time that I'm going to be working. But guess what? I'm still going to create a schedule for after work. And I will say that now, being more mature and appreciating, the consistency that a job will bring in my life and my kids' lives, now I'm able to create a effective exit strategy when I do go back into the 9 to 5 space. So that way I can exit more gracefully. I can exit with a better plan. I can exit in a better financial position. And that's okay. And it's not even something that I was expecting to even touch on. But the reality of it is, like, we're not perfect. We're going to have to pivot. Things are going to change, and it's okay. Like, whatever it looks like for you, like, just make the necessary adjustments however you can and let God take care of the rest.
I love that. Like, listen, she didn't hit us with it, okay? Do what you can and let God handle the rest. I love that. So I want to unpack that when we come back as well. But right now we're going to take a short break, just to share some good, exciting news. First of all, one of the things that I do want to share is that I'm doing a big giveaway tonight, y'all. I'm doing a big giveaway tonight. So Um, Stay tuned. When we come back, I'll share more details about that big giveaway, but we'll be right back, y'all. Make sure you tune in to the Floor is Yours podcast as they present a weekly series on last week, disappointments, letdowns, and rejections.
Welcome to the Leading Executive, the preferred leadership development, leadership training, and soft skills learning management platform for various organizations. At the Leading Executive, we believe in elevating your leaders' skills with experiential learning. Our platform offers a wide range of leadership training and soft skills courses that are designed to help your leaders unlock their full potential. Whether you're an individual looking to enhance your leadership skills or an organization looking to develop your team, the Leading Executive has got you covered. Our courses are designed to be engaging, interactive, and practical, ensuring that your leaders not only learn the skills, but also apply them in real-life situations. Our motto is unlock your leaders' full potential. We believe that every leader has the potential to be great, and our platform is designed to help them get there. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today and start unlocking your leaders' full potential with the Leading Executive. The Leading Executive, elevate your leader skills with experiential learning.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay. How we used to do in church. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Listen. So thank you all for tuning in so far to our live series here. Dear Mama, I'm speaking to self-care strategist for Christian moms, Dr. LaToya Wiggins, as well as scheduling expert Wilda Jean. And they're representing two additional pillars that we are using and created to, empower and energize the woman within. I will say that I'm going to give you all the reason why I created these 7 pillars. There's been a lot of conversation about, and I've seen it so much in the past, of wearing an S on your chest. And that S stands for super woman. We're not super women. I'm going to say it again. We are not super women. Stop giving yourself that title that is stress, that's anxiety, that's going to lead you to depression and some other stuff you don't need to be a part of, right? So if it's not standing for super, what does it stand for? So we're giving you 7 S pillars that S can stand for on your chest. If you want to put super in front of it, well, be super in your self-care. Be super in your time management, in your scheduling. Like, let's change how we're thinking. Let's change what we're saying about ourselves and what we're doing to energize ourselves, to keep going, to do the things that we really need to get going on. So, as I said earlier, I have a big surprise. I'm doing a big giveaway tonight, y'all. I'm doing a big giveaway. This is, y'all don't know. I'm all over the place because I'm excited, y'all. When I get excited, I'm all over the place. And right now, I'm so excited because today is my birthday. So for all of you who have not sent me a text, all of you who has not called me, now is your time to get in the chat and say happy birthday to Mika, okay? It's not over until September 30th. You have plenty of time. But anywho, because it's my birthday, I wanted to share something. Thank you, Lantonette. Because it's my birthday, I wanted to share. I want to give something away. And so I am giving away 2 seats to my upcoming Energize-HER Business Bootcamp. Like, yes, I'm giving away 2 seats to my Energize-HER Business Bootcamp on Saturday, September 30th. I'm excited for this, y'all. I am excited about this giveaway because, again, this giveaway is me just getting back into my role as business growth strategist, helping you learn how to launch, grow, and scale your business. I have some amazing bonuses that's coming with it. Boom, here they go. Okay, you're going to get all of these ebooks. You get the 7 steps to creating a 7-figure business, 7 secrets to being a global coach. Dear Mama, which is our 7 pillars ebook, as well as the 100K email marketing blueprint. And you get a business spotlight on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. And you'll also be entered to win local 1 week full local advertising in your area, wherever you live, wherever you reside. You'll have an opportunity to have local advertisement. So again, I'm excited. Thank y'all for telling me happy birthday. I appreciate y'all. Go and share it with the world so more people can come tell me happy birthday too. Okay. I like happy birthdays. Let me stop y'all. I'm just kidding. But anywho, I'm doing a big giveaway tonight for the Energizer Business Bootcamp. You got to stay tuned to the end of our conversation. It's only going to be about another 15, 20 minutes. Stay tuned for our conversation, and I'll tell you exactly what you need to do so that you can be entered to win one of these seats. Listen, I'm excited. If you've never had a conversation with me, you're in for a good treat. I just want to share that, okay? I love to share. I love to break things down. I love to make sure that it's simplified enough that you can understand what you need to do to get it done. And that's what I am going to be doing on September 30th. Limited seats. So the two ladies that are chosen from tonight's broadcast would definitely be in for a good treat, and you'll be able to secure your spot. So now we're going to get back to this dear mama. Get back to the dear mama business. Will, I know I'm not going to say me because I've gotten better at this. I've gotten so much better at this. Like, I've gotten so much better at this. I keep saying that. Maybe I'm going to convince myself one day that I've gotten better at this. But, but for those of us who are her women, moms, and we are struggling on saying no, struggling to say no, when we know we don't have the time. We know we should not be giving more commitments when we really don't have the time to show up in that way. But it can cause us to think that there's going to be some backlash, some disappointment. It creates fear within us, because we don't know what the other person is going to say, what they're going to feel like, or do they feel like we're letting them down. Share with us, what advice can you offer? I should say, what advice can you offer to help women learn the power of no?
Wow, that is something that I recently went through, actually. And what I will say is, I'm going to share something that I was praying on recently. And so I had to pray on the spirit of double-mindedness. And I believe that me dealing with the spirit of double-mindedness affected me being able to say my yes is my yes and my no is my no. And so that's something that right now I'm actively working on improving, because I definitely grew up being someone that seeks validation. And even now, like, I still like validation. I like to hear confirmations and just make sure, somebody else agrees with me or likes what I like, or it makes sense and things of that nature. And so when you are someone that likes validation, you may question, well, how does this person feel? Or am I going to insult them or make them feel bad? Or just you start thinking of all of the things that the other person might think. And that kind of, in a sense, neglects what you have going on. It neglects your life and your mental health and everything else that comes with that. And so I had to make a decision recently that I needed to say no to something that was taking a lot of my time. And I believe that it wasn't serving me. And because it wasn't serving me, I was not able to serve in excellence, not perfection, but in excellence. And because I wasn't, it was like it was not mutually beneficial for both parties. And so I had to make a conscious decision that I'm choosing to say no, because I need to win my time back. And so it was very hard, because that double-mindedness, I kept fighting it, like, should I stay? Should I go? This is the pro, this is the con. And the reality of it is, like, God was been telling me to let it go, but I chose not to. And looking back now, what other things could I have accomplished or worked on, or how much more time could I have spent with my kids had I said no when God told me the first time to say no? And so now I'm learning the importance of, letting my yes be yes and letting my no be no, and making sure that I have discernment. And I know that when God is the one telling me yes and when God is telling me no, that there's no question asked, and that that's what it is. And being able to be confident in that, because I think a lot of time we also lack confidence in the decisions that we're making. And because we're lacking that confidence, we don't want to tell somebody no, because we're not sure ourselves. And so definitely be more confident in yourself, be more confident in the voice of God on the inside of you, telling you what to do and when to do it. And just know that it's okay to say no. And you know why you might be saying no. It might be because you don't have the time at this point in your life. It might be for financial reasons, for mental health reasons, and that's okay. And if someone responds to you in a negative way when you're saying, hey, I'm no longer able to do this anymore because of XYZ, whether or not you gave them an explanation, if they receive it in a negative way and they never took the time to have the conversation with you of why you need to say no, that's a problem.
Right.
That's a
I love
problem,
that.
because you
I
have
love
to make sure that you are considering the person's reason for saying no. People are going through things. People are going through silent. Hold on, honey. Give me a second, please. It's my daughter. I'm not gonna tell her no right now, but um, um, she just made me my whole train of thought. But and she's laughing, guys. Oh my god, that's so
the
crazy.
life. I love it.
But like people are suffering silent battles, mental battles, physical health battles, like so many spiritual attacks, like, and sometimes it gets hard to, like, you might have been able to show up 6 times before, but this time you might not be able to stand on that and protect yourself, protect your peace, protect your energy, protect your kids, because at the end of the day, if you don't have the time to give to them, if you don't have the emotional and mental capacity because you're drained from whatever you're giving your time to, now you can't even be your best self for your mom.
Come
For your
on.
kids. And the thing that we're here for, okay, give me a second, baby. The most important thing for us as moms is to make sure that we are there for our kids as much as possible. So we
Right.
have to be mentally, emotionally, physically, financially in position. So that's going to require us to say no sometimes. And at this point, for my kids, I'm saying no to whatever does not serve me, because my kids are my priority, and God is going to make everything else fall in place.
I love that. I love that, Wilda. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Listen, that's a whole word. That's a whole movement right there. Dr. LaToya, so as Wilda was explaining of, saying no because you have to make that time for yourself, and it's okay to say no. It really is okay to say no. What role, and let me just put this in there, because again, saying no means that somebody's going to feel let down. Somebody's going to feel slighted, possibly. Somebody's going to feel that you're not there for them. What role does self-compassion play in a mom's self-care journey, like self-worth, self-compassion, self-love? What roles do they play in our lives?
I feel like it just really, I mean, like I said, it's like self-love. You're showing love to yourself. Self-worth. You're telling yourself that you are worthy of caring for yourself. So same thing, the self-compassion. For me, it's reminding yourself of your why. Why are you doing this? Why are you saying yes to whatever it is? Why are you saying no or not yet to whatever it is? And just like Wilda was saying, just checking in with God, you know, because we're not going to be perfect either. Sometimes we might be saying no and we should have said yes, or vice versa. And again, being okay with that, because you're human, giving yourself grace and forgiveness for any mistakes that you do make. And that's really when that self-compassion comes in. Stop beating yourself up for the no's, even if that no is to your own child, your own spouse or significant other, your friends. Sometimes the no, like Wilda was saying, you have to recognize why I'm saying no. I don't have the capacity right now.
Right,
you
right.
know, same thing. Like you might have a loved one or whoever is going through something. Of course, you do want to be there for them, but even then, you still have to maybe put a boundary on what you're allowing yourself to take in, because they could be draining you, and then both of y'all down and out.
Right.
So, like I said, sometimes you have to honor your yes, a no, or a not yet. Like, I got you, but not today, or not right now, maybe later. Just really checking in with yourself and how you feel mentally, again, physically and spiritually. again, I love, like, even when we talk about self-love and self-worth, sometimes that can get a negative, connotation, especially in like the Christian world, because you're focused on yourself. So that's why I always say check in with God.
Mhm. Mhm.
So that's the thing. You're not just doing it for selfish ambition.
Right.
You're you're focusing on why I'm saying yes, no, or not yet, because what is it going to allow me to do even for others, not
Right.
just myself? That would be selfish. How is me saying no right now, me saying no to this engagement or whatever it is that's going to, drain my money or my energy, my health?
I love
If
that.
you look at that, if I keep, sometimes you saying yes to everybody is being selfish because you're not caring for
Mhm.
yourself. And then
I
that's
love
is going
that.
to take away from your loved ones, your children. If you're sick and ill, now I can't care for you.
Mhm. I love that. I love that. So, as we are, talking about the self-care, the self-compassion, the self-worth, um, a lot of times women can feel isolated, when they are taking care of themselves, because again, it's not the normal thing to do. And some people will call you selfish because you're looking out for yourself before you let the world cast all its cares upon you. But talk to us about the importance of having a supportive community, a supportive network of like-minded people around you. What is the importance of that?
And are you still talking to me?
Yes, I'm sorry,
Okay, just
Dr.
making
LaToya.
sure.
Yes, I'm sorry.
um,
Yes.
yes, that's very important. So community for me is what helps me. Yes, I do need my alone time, but I do need, the socializing and just really networking, fellowshipping, and just socializing with, like you said, like-minded people. I have different groups of people or individuals for different reasons as well.
Right.
I was talking about my Faith Sisters tribe. I hang with them virtually and even recently in person for a retreat for my spiritual growth. I had my friends who still like to party. I don't really like to party anymore, but hey, I know who to go to if I want to just have some fun. I have my mom friends. I have my wife friends. Like, I really have to connect with different people because I might need you for certain reasons. Not even need you, but be able to have those conversations about similar things. My single friends, I'm sure they don't always want to hear me talking about my marriage or even marriage issues. So let me connect with my wife friends or even get some sound, wise counsel from somebody else, or just
Right.
really just, sometimes just need to disconnect from just being a mom for a moment, disconnect from being a wife for a moment. So you need to be
Right.
around like-minded people. Even in business, you and I have collaborated on multiple occasions. So you need your business friends, who
Right.
are just working on similar things as you. A lot of my friends are
Exactly.
entrepreneurs, so they can't relate to what I'm going through. So I gotta make sure I'm connecting with these different individuals for that support. And
I love
also
that.
it's fun to even be able to pour into other people too, instead of feeling like you have to kind of hold yourself back from talking about certain things.
I love that. I love that. And you're so right. I take pride in my circle of five. It's kind of like four, three, two, maybe one. Let me tell you. Because I know for me, it takes a lot of energy to build relationships. It takes a lot of energy to be consistent and show up for those relationships. And I gave myself a challenge that I would continue to show up and continue to be a good business mate, a good friend, a good sister, a better, I should say, better. And that just requires me to show up and just say, hey, how are you doing? Like, genuinely, I want to know how you're doing, what you got going on. And then life can be so hectic at times. For those that don't know, I am a homeschooling mama of two. Okay. Yeah, we homeschooling around here. And it is a challenge on most days, um, because I have to, and I'm not going to say it's bad, but I had to, like Wilda said, I had to audit my time to find and create a schedule that worked for my household. So me teaching the children, making sure that they are getting their daily things in, doing the things that they need to get done. Um, Initially, I was trying to set it up like they're going to actual school. I'm just like, yeah, that's not going to work. So I had to quickly change some things around so that it worked for me. It worked for the kids so that they're not bored and they're not getting into things when I'm trying to work. So I had to make sure that it made sense for me, them, my husband, the whole household, so that it worked. Um, But Wilda, I got a question for you. What? Okay, so for the overwhelming to-do list, we have a million and one things on our to-do list every single day, and for some odd reason, we find a way to add a million more things every single day. I know I'm not the only one. I know I can't be the only one. Okay, so what is the outside of auditing your time, outside of looking at your schedule that you currently have, doing that self-assessment of you and your time and your day, what would be the next thing that women and moms should do when they are trying to create that schedule for themselves? Like, let's be very specific in some things that we can do starting now, tonight. And here's Faith. Hey, Faith.
I'm glad you chose Faith because it definitely is my 3-year-old daughter. Yes. So I would say two things. One is on a simpler side of things, when you're looking at your schedule for the day, you can do P1, P2, P3. So the P3 method. So basically that's you itemizing each task and you prioritizing it on a level 1, 2, or 3. So that way, P1 is urgent. That's something that needs to be done today, tomorrow, 2 days max. P2, something that you can do in a week or 2 weeks. And then P3 is something that, it's more a farther out project. And the reason why that's important is because sometimes we focus on projects that can wait and leave the urgent things for the last minute. And now we feel like we're overwhelmed and we're trying to get it together and figure it out. And now I got to go make pancakes because my daughter doesn't want to eat the dinner that I just made, and she specifically wants pancakes, and I still have to feed her. So here we are making pancakes, and I have to jump on this webinar, and I have to finish my PowerPoint deck that I didn't complete for real, and now I'm in shambles. So definitely make sure that you're being more intentional about prioritizing the tasks that you do have on your to-do list, because some things can wait. And so after you get the priority things done, the more urgent things, then you can break down those further out projects, so that way when that time does get closer to do it, it doesn't feel as overwhelming because you've been breaking it down little by little. And the other thing that I will say is, once you do audit your time, I would recommend that you actually create a block schedule for yourself. And so what that block schedule is going to do is itemize your day from as soon as you wake up till you go to sleep. And so for me, I have 3 different schedules actually. So it's going to change based off what I told you guys earlier. Shh, honey, I'm on a call. Can you give me a second? Thank you. So Mondays was my CEO days. I'm going to give you guys the schedule previously. So Mondays is my CEO day. So that's the day where I don't take clients. I don't talk to clients. That's the day I focus on personal development, meeting with my coaches, handling things on the back end of my business. And so from the time my day starts, I have wake up, my time with God. I might read a podcast, listen to a sermon. Yes. Work out, prep for dinner. If I don't take out my meat early in the morning, or like, sometime in the middle of the day, like, I'm probably not going to cook dinner, because I like to get in the kitchen and just go. Like, I don't want to wait for food to defrost when I'm ready to cook. So for me, I have to like really schedule literally to put out my meat at a specific time to make sure that I'm going to cook that day, right? So I don't spend money on eating out. And that's just what works for me. And so I have what time my kids are going to school, what time I'm gonna go get breakfast, what I have business meetings with God. Like, my schedule is very detailed, and it covers my spiritual life, my personal life, my business life, time with my kids. Hold on one second, please. Time with my kids and everything in between. So it is itemized down to the T. Time I'm gonna run errands, time I'm gonna do my coaching calls, time I'm gonna go on live, time I'm gonna create content. So my Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I don't be overwhelmed, Tuesdays will be the day I create the content. Thursdays is the day that I edit the content and create captions for it. So that way I'm not sitting there spending 4 hours in one day trying to do this one task and not working on the other things that I also need to do in business or home. and then I'm feeling overwhelmed. I didn't even get it all done and things of that nature. And so I made it more digestible. So you don't have to do all of the moving parts of a project in one day, in one sitting. So on Tuesdays at 10 a.m., I might be creating content, but on Thursdays at 10 a.m., I'm editing the content. And so every day has its designated thing. So I think some people call that like what is it's not code switching. Don't listen to me. I don't remember what it's called right now, but I don't know. Theme scheduling. That's it. Theme
Yes.
So I mix a combination of block scheduling and theme scheduling, and that's what works for me. So that way I know what to look forward to on Tuesdays versus Thursdays, on Wednesdays and Fridays and Mondays. And so that has worked for me. And so it's definitely whatever that would look like for you as far as creating your schedule. Again, someone that has a 9 to 5, it will look a little bit different because that time block is going to be significantly, you at work, and you might not have time to work on your business or whatever else you do. That's cool. Still create a schedule for yourself and your kids outside of the 9 to 5 so you can still maximize that time to its full potential, because let your 9 to 5 fund your business, let your 9 to 5 fund your traveling or whatever that might look like for you, but just pull the skill sets that you are learning at your 9 to 5, if that's where you are in this season, to better yourself, to create freelance work for yourself, or whatever you might want to do in the future. So those are my 2 things: prioritizing P1, P2, P3, and creating a schedule for yourself after you do your time audit.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you for sharing that. So very laid out in detail. And this is what this series is about. It's not just telling you what to do, it's telling you how to do it. Like giving you the tips, tools, resources, and strategies to actually begin now. You don't have, again, you don't have to wait 5 days. You don't have to wait a month. You definitely don't want to wait for the next 100 days. Okay. You want to start this now, because these are easy things that you can begin now. Start doing the easy things now, because that'll add up into forming a different lifestyle, a different routine for you, for your life, for your household, your job, your career, whatever that is. So thank you so much for sharing that, Wilda. So before we wrap up, let me just go ahead on and put this out there. I told you all that I'm doing a big giveaway tonight. So the giveaway is for a seat at the Energize Her Business Boot Camp. That is going down September 30, 2023 at 10 a.m. It's for 3 hours from 10 to 1, y'all. 10 to 1, you're going to walk away with an amazing business growth strategy customized for your business. That's the Energizer Business Bootcamp. Visit energizeher.us for more information about all that we're doing with Energize Her, as well as the bootcamp to learn more about it. But y'all ready to have some fun? Y'all ready to have some fun? So I told y'all today is my birthday. It's my birthday. Go to Mika. It's your birthday. We gonna party like it's your birthday. Hey. So for whoever guesses my age or guesses closest to my age, those are going to be the 2 winners. Now, here's the thing. Thank you all for tuning in. There may be some of you on here who may not be interested in joining the Energizer Business Bootcamp because you may not have a business. You may not even be interested in being an entrepreneur, having a business, and that's okay. So share this broadcast. I'm going to give it, I think, 24 hours. So that's tomorrow. Y'all going to see me back on here tomorrow. I'm not going to have on the same clothes. I'll change clothes, okay? But y'all going to see me back tomorrow. when I announce who the winners are. There's going to be 2 winners, or 2 amazing women who will have earned and secured their spot at the Energizer Business Bootcamp. I actually have a sponsor that's sponsoring these 2 seats. So I'm excited. I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I want to make sure that I give them out. So just you ain't got to put it out here. I'm not going to tell y'all my age. You know what I'm saying? But I'm over 21. I'm grown. So, Dr. LaToya, as we wrap up, please share with us, what is your last word of advice when it comes to women and moms learning how to prioritize their self-care in their daily lives, what that looks like. Please give us, what are your last words on that, last piece of advice?
Yes, I would say my last words of advice would be just to really focus on What brings you peace, or what would bring you peace? Really reflect on that. And with that being said, I'll just break down my peace framework quickly. So you can write it down and go back to it in your quiet time that you're going to create for yourself. So my peace framework, the P stands for permission to say yes to yourself. So we already talked about that earlier. Give yourself permission to say yes to whatever it is that's going to nourish you, bring some peace and joy, and help you to walk in your God-given purpose as a mom, a wife, a friend, a business owner, employee, a ministry leader, whatever it is, in any way that you're leading in life. Give yourself permission to say yes. And you know that means you will have to start saying no to some people or things that no longer serve your purpose. The E in the peace framework, you are going to evaluate your current self-care routines. See what's going well and what's not going so well. That leads you to the A in the peace framework. Assess those areas for action and abundance so you can start creating that peace and joy in your life. C, you are going to cancel those feelings of guilt, the negative thoughts and self-sabotage, whether they are your own thoughts or the thoughts of others. Like Wilda said, if somebody else has a problem with you, saying no, trying to nurse yourself, it's a problem. And obviously that's a them problem, not a you problem. So maybe they need to take the same steps that you're taking also. And last but not least, the E, the last E in the peace framework, you're going to execute your new winning self-care routines. And remember just to start small wherever you are, even if it's as little as 5 minutes. You're going to connect yourself with community, like we discussed, and also connect with the experts. So if you need help with self-care, you connect with me. You need help with time management, you connect with Wilda. You need time with support with your business, you connect with Tamika. So whoever the experts are in the areas that you need help and support with, whether it's a therapist, fitness coach, whoever, connect with those experts so they can lead you and guide you and give you that support and accountability you need to thrive and not just survive. And that's all I have.
And that's what we do. Okay. So that was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate your last words there. All right. So Wilda, for moms who are still, again, struggling, they're looking, they're trying their hardest, may not be so sure on what they need to do, how they should do it, what they should do, why they should do it, when they should start it, how it's going to happen, what it look like, what the kids going to say, what the husband going to say, what that significant other going to feel like when you got to take time for yourself, and you're not as available for your friends and coworkers like as you used to be in back in the day. But what is your last piece of advice that you would give to a lady who is working to create her new schedule, her new normal for her and her household?
Absolutely. So I would definitely say that touching on what Dr. LaToya has spoken throughout this time is self-care also requires for you to set boundaries. You have to set boundaries with yourself. You have to set boundaries with your family. You have to set boundaries with your friends. Honestly speaking, I have some friends now, they know, don't invite me to certain things. I'm not in that season anymore. I don't want to go out like that. I don't want to go to parties. Invite me to Bible study. Invite me to business brunch. Invite me to things that's going to help me with my personal development. That's going to help me with my spiritual life. That's going to help me with things that are going to help my body, help my mind, help myself and my family. And so it's okay to set those boundaries, because the people that love you and care for you will understand and respect that. And so your boundaries can be related to your time, the time commitment that you have for certain things. And so with that being said, my friends, they love me enough to understand that I have a goal that I'm after. My friends understand that right now I can't do those things, and they still love me through, and they know right now is not the time to invite me. And so I love and I appreciate them for that, because they didn't make me feel like, I couldn't be a part or anything like that. If I do choose to go, they will still, accept me with open arms, but I don't feel pressured to go. I don't feel like, I'm any less than or anything like that. And so that was how I set boundaries with my friends. I had to set emotional and mental boundaries with my with my family as well. And all of those things go back to the time management of it, because the reality of it is it does take a village. We say that it takes a village to raise a child, and the reality of it is it also takes a village to be a mother, because we don't know it all, and we definitely are constantly evolving and trying to figure it out, and we don't always give ourselves enough grace. And so I know that, you know, I'm specifically talking about time management, and it's a little bit bigger than that. Like, you have to have a good tribe. That word that Dr. LaToya said earlier, community, it's going to be super important for you to establish self-care, for you to establish time management, for you to establish boundaries, because the reality of it is it takes a village. It takes people that are gonna be like-minded. It's gonna take people that are wiser than you. It's gonna take people that are gonna pray for you and pray with you. It's gonna take people that are going to be able to love on you and tell you when you're wrong, or tell you when and where you can improve, that are going to support you in your low moments, that are going to support you when you don't have all the answers. They're going to give you grace. They're going to be understanding, and they're going to continue to love on you the way that God wants us to love one another. And so I'll definitely say, before all else, focus on God first and foremost, and then focus on having community. Community can look like 2 or 3 people. Like, sometimes you don't need that many people to be successful, or to do the things that you're trying to do, to gain wisdom, because the reality of it is too much people in your ear is not a good thing. And so, like Tamika said, she has her 5 people in her circle, and that's okay. And her 5 people, she might have one spiritual advisor or one spiritual friend that she can pray with. She might have a business person, somebody for emotions, somebody that she can go party with, or whatever. And you know, that's okay. Like, find your people, find your tribe that will support you, that will love you, and you know, make the wise decisions to love yourself first. You have to love yourself first in order for you to be in position to really give your children the love that they need, to give them the support that they need, for you to really nurture them, for you to be able to think about their emotional wellness, to think about their physical wellness, and all the other things that it comes with being a mom. So, you know, definitely give yourself grace. Understand that you're not perfect, and God did not call us to be perfect, and that's okay. So take whatever experiences you may have had in the past, whatever you felt like you did wrong, take them before God. Allow him to give you the wisdom and the people to help you to better yourself, and know that no one else can be the mom that you are to your children. You are doing the best that you can with what you have. Continue to plant your seeds, continue to love on yourself, love on your kids, and everything else will continue to fall into place.
I love that. Now, I did not give y'all a disclaimer before I got started, but Wilda Jean, when you get her started, baby, she is in the flow, and I love it. I love it. I love it. So again, first of all, I want to say thank you to Dr. LaToya Wiggins, as well as thank you to Wilda Jean for your yes. I appreciate you. You're dropping gems. All the gems that you've dropped this evening is definitely worthwhile for women to learn to love the lives they live right now. Like, how do we do that? By sharing the knowledge that we have as it pertains to our self-care, self-worth, self-value, self-compassion, but also creating schedules that work for us, not trying to do what everybody else is doing, not trying to live the life that they're living, because their time is not going to necessarily match up with what we need in our lives for our time and our scheduling. So, Wilda, by you sharing all about time management, all about, putting, that self audit of your time, that time audit, that schedule audit, it all makes sense, because we need to think about what are we doing? What are we doing with the time we have right now? We can't complain that we need another hour. I just need another hour. For what? For you to work your butt off for another hour and still complain that you need another one? No. Let's assess the time that we're using right now. Think about how we're using our time, how that precious commodity that we'll never get back. How are you using it? Use it to the best of your ability, so that way you won't say, I need another hour. You can sit back and say, oh my gosh, I have 5 hours left in the day to do absolutely nothing but just relax or do something that I enjoy doing. Tapping into that self-care that Dr. LaToya has talked to us about all evening. So again, thank you, ladies, so much for being here with me tonight for Dear Mama, the series, as we are introducing the 7 pillars to energize the woman within, the 7 S pillars: self-care, scheduling, sleep management, spices of life, sexy body, baby, okay? Spiritual healing, as well as secret passions. These are the 7 S pillars that we should be focusing on to be our best, to show up the best way that we can without, without all the stress. Show up how you can. Don't put, extra on yourself. Just be who you are and be okay with who you are. And for those who don't accept who you are, too bad for them. Too bad. We're just gonna put that out there. You don't be who you're not, because that's going to weigh you down. It's going to put extra burden upon you. So, dear mama, thank you for tuning in tonight. Make sure you all share this broadcast with other women who need to hear this amazing knowledge that Dr. LaToya as well as Wilda has given us tonight. Share this broadcast with them because they need to hear it. Somebody somewhere needs to hear this across the globe. All women need to hear it. But thank you all for tuning in. This has been another amazing conversation with the Dim Mama series. I'm excited to be here. I am Tamika Chapman, founder of EnergizeHER. Connect with us on energizeher.us for more information about all that we're doing. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Appreciate you all for sharing. Appreciate you all for being here. There's that bug. Okay. Got it. Okay, so listen, for those who don't know, I'm in the basement. The door was open and a bug came in. Listen, I've been trying to find it all night. But thank you all for tuning in. This has been amazing. I appreciate you all. You all have a good evening.
Bye-bye.